Chris, your first reaction when you found out he was going to set you on actual fire?
Tyler, you were clinically dead 9 months ago. But you survived. You fought your way back. You just have to find out why.
I really appreciate when a sequel knows how to go bigger without losing what makes us like the story in the first place. So what are the elements, the core elements you need to hold on to guarantee that?
Great question. I think the importance for us was not only taking the action to another level, because people responded very positively to that in the first film, but we had an emotional core of the first film that was solid, but it was the tip of the iceberg for what it is that makes this character who he is. So we thought that we spent a lot of time discussing the importance of putting that emotional backstory on screen, so audiences could really connect with Tyler Rake on a deeper level, because then you're willing and able to go along on this crazy action thrill ride because you're grounded and kind of centered emotionally. And without that, it just becomes a lot of noise with a lot of action.
I'm getting you out of here, okay?
We see Tyler in new extreme situations this time, and I would like to know what are the most remarkable moments of working on it, and if there is still some kind of action sequence or a challenge that you would like to try in a third movie, maybe.
I mean, I had 5,000 or 6,000 moves of choreography to learn in this film. That in itself was a mountain to climb, and exhausting and challenging. I'd say the most memorable for me was the train. I was standing on top of a train. It was moving at 50 miles an hour. There's a helicopter 25 feet in front of me flying backwards. That was equally as terrifying as it was exhilarating and fun. Things I haven't done before, haven't thrown me out of a plane yet. Maybe we could just do some skydiving, you know? And that all comes from, you know, our own enthusiasm and creative search, and also being inspired by, you know, Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, and all the things that he's doing, and many others that have come before us. And that'll be the fun of it, you know? If an audience responds to this one, it'll be our job to sit down and go, right, what haven't we done before? What hasn't anyone done before? And dive into that.
You came back for this. Why?
Chris, your first reaction when you found out he was going to set you on actual fire?
I was kind of excited. You know, there's a huge amount of trust that we have, and there's always risk involved, but I knew that every safety measure had been put in place and taken to ensure that I didn't suffer any great injury. It's always a roll of the dice, you know, you don't know. We're kind of, you know, using up our 9 lives.
Yeah.
You told me to find the reason I fought my way back. Let's find out.
Action has spectacular real scenarios, even real fire, as we're saying. Yeah. And I imagine that more CGI could make your life easier sometimes, but not with the results you were looking for. How did you balance these technical choices?
Well, I mean, creatively, sometimes the easy way is not the best way. You know, like we grow through struggle. Mm-hmm. And as a filmmaker, like I want to challenge myself and kind of the crew to, like, how can we solve these creative challenges practically? Because a lot of it's been done before. You know, I think sometimes CG is a very new art form. And yes, it has allowed some amazing stories to be told, like, you know, all these, the canon of the Marvel Universe, which 25, 30 years ago would not have been possible. But I still think there's a connection audiences have to seeing things done for real. Seeing Chris Hemsworth standing on a moving train, you know, for real, with a real helicopter. There's just an adrenaline rush and like an authenticity and truth that is transferred from the set, where it's actually happening, to the audience. For me, as a filmmaker, that sensibility has always inspired me watching movies growing up, and I want to be able to give that back to audiences.
You were the client's request.
About the ending, no spoilers of course, but it looks like there's one new important character coming. So do you already have anyone in mind, ideas? How is it going?
There's a lot of amazing actors who could fit that character description. I think for as storytellers, it becomes, let's find the right story for Tyler Rake. Should there be a third movie? What's that story that pushes him emotionally, that resets the tone of the franchise and gives a new experience for the audience? And then once that's decided, find the right person to capture that essence of the character that was kind of alluded to at the end of the second movie.
Right, everyone okay? Kids, you good?
Why did you come back for them? Do you know her?
Well, maybe a next movie shot in Brazil.
In
We have
Brazil.
really cool places here.
We know, we just discussed that. Both love this country, and aesthetically it would be different again to the first or the second film, and so I think there's a huge opportunity, yeah.
Totally agree.